You guys are not going to believe what we discovered on the new farm that we bought. So we were looking at the yard and the landscape and seeing where things needed to be weeded. And I saw that this was like a garden area, but there was a lot of weeds and clover, and I didn't come and inspect it. And I'm like, yeah, that's definitely going to have to be maintained and something done to it. And then my daughter and I were out walking around getting some pictures. There was the evening where there was a gorgeous sunset. I'm like, oh, I want to get some pictures of that so people can see when they come to stay. If you missed that video, when the Airbnb is finished at the farmhouse here, like to see the view from the back porch. And I happened to look over and I'm like, wait a minute. Those aren't daisies. That's chamomile. And so I'm like, let's go look at that. And so we walked out and you can see all of this chamomile. I mean, it's just all throughout here. I'm like, score, like, look at this chamomile harvest. So then I started looking and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, that's chamomile. That's Valerian. This is borage. This is bronze fennel. That's mullein. You guys, this is a full-on medicinal herb garden that I didn't even know existed on this property when we bought it. So look at, here's mullein, and you can see it's in its second year because mullein is a biennial, which means the second year is when it actually throws up the big stalk where you have the yellow mullein flowers. So I've got mullein here and quite a bit of it. Like you can see there's multiple plants all the way coming up. And then this here, no, that's not. Some of the plants, I don't even know what they are yet. I thought this was in the mint family, or it's not lemon balm and it's not mint. I'll have to do some investigating to see what this one is. Now this is just regular clover, which is kind of part of the weeds that are growing in here. And then some of these are just weeds. Like it definitely needs, this is just a weed that needs to be pulled out. So there's a lot of cleanup that still needs to happen because a lot of this is getting kind of choked out by like clover and different things. But this is the Valerian. So look at this. This is actually a decent Valerian patch. So here you've got the Valerian flowers, which actually smell good. They have like a light sweet smell. But I can't even get to where, because of the buttercups and the clover that are in here, I can't even get to the roots of it if I did want to harvest from the roots. And then, what is this? See, some of this is just weeds, but then this, that looks suspicious, like it's something in the nightshade family. I need to make sure it's not belladonna because I don't personally want that growing in an herb garden because there's too much potential for poison, but I don't see any berries formed yet. So I'll have to do some plant ID identification. I'm not actually sure what this is. We do have nightshade that grows around here. I'm pretty sure that that's nightshade, but I'll have to double check and identify that one. Here again, all of this lovely, gorgeous chamomile that is just growing everywhere. I should have brought my little harvest and started harvesting some of this. I'll have to come back tomorrow and do that. And then we've got more mullein. I've got some more mint that's growing over here. And then there's more borage and mullein and chamomile that comes out this way. So this is all of the borage, which I was super excited. Look at the little bees on there. The bees just love it. So you can see all of these beautiful blossoms. And the blossom part is what you can eat off of the borage, but I don't actually have it growing yet at home. It's one that I had planned on putting in over the next year or two. So I was super excited when I saw it popping up all throughout the garden. This is really great. It can be, it's usually used for, you can use it as it's something to aid to help with depression, adrenal gland support. It actually has a lot of different herbal medicinal uses that I'm just beginning to dive into, but it was definitely one that I wanted to get put in. And now I don't even have to plant it. Like we already have it here. So I'm super excited. And then like, see, there's all kinds of things that I'm discovering throughout the weeds here. Like, look, this is some type, it's getting ready to throw up something in blossom. I think that's more borage actually. That looks feels very similar. And I think that's the flower. So there's more of that popping up. That's just a thistle. And clover, and I can smell the fennel, Right here is more that bronze leaf fennel. It kind of has like an anise, like a slight licorice anise scent to it. It looks like dill, but it doesn't really smell like dill. But it kind of looks similar to that. But it actually smells really good. It's very fragrant. Oh, and look there's sweet peas. Oh, look at those little darlings growing throughout there. They've about choked out from everything else. But there's sweet peas throughout here. And then, I don't know what these are. There's some type of flower though, because this is a pod that's getting ready. It looks like, I don't think that that's another leaf opening. I think that that's gonna bloom. I don't actually, yeah, it must be, because look it. That's like some type of flower head, but I have no idea what it is. Let's see if, you know, sometimes technology is a good thing. Let's see if the Plant ID app, which I have to say doesn't always work as is, because when I was pretty sure that that was fennel, but I used the Plant ID app on it and it tried to tell me it was a cactus. I'm like, I ain't no cactus. So we'll see if this actually produces anything of what this plant is. Oh, look at that. It says it's an opium poppy. Ooh, which is pet toxic, but it says it's an annual herb. Okay, well, we shall see when this bad boy blooms if it's actually correct. So that is supposed to be opium poppy. Very interesting. And then there's a couple other things that I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, through the weeds. I think this is just carrot. I think this is a carrot or a Queen Anne's lace that has just been allowed to bloom and grow. There's one way to tell. If I can get down to where the roots are. I think that might be Queen Anne's lace. I'll have to, I can't actually see through all of the weeds if that's a carrot or not. I don't think so. I think that's Queen Anne's lace because I'm like pulling on it. And yeah, that is not a carrot. So I've got Queen Anne's lace, which is very pretty, growing. What I might as well figure out, no, now this one is mint. Or it's catnip. It's got a light minty scent. I think that might be catnip. Let's find out. Shall we? We shall. Ah, this one is catnip. See, it's not in bloom yet, and so sometimes it's hard to tell because catnip has the purple little flowers that pop up on it. I thought this might be catnip. Catnip usually has a slight minty scent to it, but not super strong like regular mint. So we've got catnip. I still need to figure out, though, what this one is. Okay, it doesn't have much of a scent. I'm just still getting the catnip. So let us see. Well, it says lemon balm, but this is not lemon balm. So that's why you can't always, you cannot always go by what these plant apps say. I'm gonna have to wait, I think, until this one blossoms out a little bit to get a better identification. It's not lemon balm. I know lemon balm. I can identify that one easy. It's not lemon balm, but it's something in that family, but I'm not 100% sure what it actually is. And then, okay, more sweet peas. This guy. I'm not sure. It almost looks like rhubarb, but it's not rhubarb. Rhubarb doesn't grow up like this with stalks that come off it like a tree like that. Rhubarb is the plant on the ground, but very similar looking to rhubarb. Let's see if it has any, if the little plant ID can tell me anything. It's got some type of little seed head coming all up on it though. Oh yeah, it's not a beet. Unless it was one that overwintered, but I don't think that's a beet. Well, once it flowers, I guess we'll find out some more. Or if any of you can tell by looking at it, please do let me know in the comments because I'm not sure what this is, but I know it's not rhubarb. It just looks slightly like it. Oh, and then look at this. Look at that little pretty darling. So once I get in here and get all of this weeded and get a little bit more research done, I can't wait to see I feel like I'm going to uncover even more things. But like this is not just, somebody didn't just put this in, like dumped a bunch of flower seeds down and all of these came up. This was very intentional. Whoever planted this was interested in herbs and wanted to have an herbal medicinal garden, also with some type of prettiness, because gosh, these are going to be so beautiful when it's all in bloom and cleaned out. So I may be more excited about finding this medicinal herb garden with the herbs in it, especially the ones that I don't even have growing yet at home, than I was like going through and discovering the things in the house. And I think only another like homesteader, gardener, herbalist can understand like how exciting this is, and also like what a gift. Whoever it was that put this in had no idea who would come after them and discover it. And I'm sure they just hoped that it would be somebody who would appreciate it for what it is and just not see like a bunch of weeds in an overgrown garden that needed to be wiped out, but things that needed to just have some care and some cultivating in order to get this into a little bit more semblance of shape and make sure that some of these don't get choked out by the weeds, and more proper identification. So if you missed the video where I shared this property and why we have it now and what our plans are for it, you can go and watch that there. And if you're interested in learning more about herbs for medicine, you can go and look at my echinacea video on how to make an echinacea tincture, as well as herbal flower garden tutorials with their medicinal uses that I've done on our homestead. And then once I figure out what everything here is and do some more research on it, I'll be sharing more with you.